that we first saw them at Eli Creek, got chatting to them, and seemed to have been bumping into them all the way up the coast, and we ended up camping next to them last night. So this morning we're going to head out of here and follow those guys up to Nagala Rocks. I think it's pretty soft as well. It's super soft coming into this place last night, so I've just aired down the tyres a bit more. So just to be a bit cautious, I'm down to, I think I was 14 in the front and 20 in the back. Airing down just to make it a little bit easier. But anyway, we'll go and check out Nagala Rocks and see how it looks. Alrighty, so we just went to the servo after we left camp this morning. The guys needed to fuel up, and the track that goes from the servo back down to the beach is pretty loose. So we did actually have to snatch out the cruiser from the soft sand, but they are both towing jet skis, so it's going to be a challenge for them. But yeah, now we're just on the beach north of Waurati Point, heading towards Nagala. I'm a little bit nervous.
Da, da, da.
Alrighty, welcome to Nagala Rocks. So basically it's a section where the sand dunes come down to the beach, and then there's like a little channel between the bottom of the dune and the ocean, and it's quite rocky, and that's the bit you got to get through. And it looks like we've got our first customers for the day. I think it's actually the sandy bit on the other side that is the hard bit. Here goes the Hilux. Looks like he's up there. Oh no, he's bogged. I think old mate in the Hilux gave it too many berries.
Yeah.
And now he's buried himself. That'll probably be us in 5 minutes time. Whether or not we're going to try and do this, I don't know. To be honest, there's a bit of a traffic jam. And the Hilux is still bogged in the middle of the track. I don't know, we're going to be here for a while if we want to get through here, but I think we might end up chucking a Yui, heading back south, and then getting over to the west coast where tonight's camp is. Whoa! There's a couple of boys doing Fraser on a couple of postie bikes, eh? Actually, there's more than a couple. I think there's about a dozen of them. We just seen them racing along Orchid Beach along there before heading up towards Nagala Rocks, and now they're coming up over towards Champagne Pools and Indian Head. Good on them.
Please don't let me drown. I learned to love the cage you keep me in, but the walls keep closing in, and I don't wanna die, but your poison feels so right. Why do I want you when you're bad for me? My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe.
Alrighty, we've travelled back south down the island on the east coast now, and we are about to comes all those postie bikes down the epic. Yeah, so we're about to hit the inland track now that takes us from the east coast through the inland over to the west coast to tonight's camp, which is Waurati. I think it's called Waurati. This is where we're going now. And that's it up there. See you later, East Coast. Here we are at Waurati Creek on the west coast of Fraser. quite a bit different to the east coast. The east coast is like a highway. There's a lot of traffic going up and down the coast, and then on the west coast I think we've seen like half a dozen cars in the couple of hours that we've been here, and there's only 2 other groups camped up here, so that's pretty cool. This morning we were up at Nagala Rocks. We've come back down here. Waurati Point is where we camped last night. Champagne Pools is where we stopped this morning for a swim. Then we've come back down the coast here to the Pinnacles, and then we've taken this track here across to the west coast, and then we're just camped about here somewhere. And then tomorrow we come back across, back down, and then we're camping in the middle here somewhere called Central Station. Just before we got to this camp, we just had to cross the creek, which at the time was flowing out into the ocean, but now the tide's coming in. The ocean is flowing up the creek at the moment. Wouldn't want to have got here any later than we did. Alrighty, this morning woken up to a beautiful sunrise, so I'm going to go down for a little fish this morning since it's an incoming tide and it's pretty calm. There's no wind, so I should be able to get a good cast out there. No bites at all, so I'm going to call it this morning. Alright, it's been an epic morning here at Waurati camp spot on the west coast of Fraser. So It's almost midday, so we're going to wrap it up here and start making our way back across to the east coast, and then we've got to travel a little bit south, pick up another inland route, and that's going to take us to the middle of the island to tonight's camp, which is Central Station. We'll see you there. So we just arrived at Central Station, which is tonight's camp. It was a 27-kilometre drive from the eastern coast to Central Station, and looks like a beautiful campsite here. All of the camp spots are real decent sort of size and spaced out as well, so like your neighbours are pretty far away, but we're pretty lucky because it's super quiet here. There's only about half a dozen camps in this area, or groups in this area, and they're pretty well spaced out, so we can't even see any neighbours, which is pretty good. Should be a nice night. Good morning. Today we got to leave the island, unfortunately, because it's been an epic 4 days on Fraser. But yeah, it's about 7 o'clock now. We've had breakfast and some coffee, and we're going to make a quick getaway. We got a I think it's about a 3-hour drive on this inland track up past Lake Mackenzie, and then back out onto the east coast, and then we've got to shoot down the east coast back to the barge back across to Inskip Point, and then from there we've got to go to Rainbow Beach, give the car a good wash, get all the salt off the car, and then from there we've got to go to Gympie to pick up Cooper. That's an hour's drive to there, and then from there it's about a half-hour drive to where we're going to camp tonight. Let's get into it. This is it, Lake Mackenzie, and we've got here early in the morning. It's about 8 o'clock and there's no one else here, and it is like a West Australian beach. It is amazing. So that's us. We're out of the track, inland track, on the way back from Lake Mackenzie to the eastern beach. So we're back on the beach now, and we just got to head south for about 40 k's now, down towards the barge, and then on the barge back across to Inskip Point, and that'll be Fraser done, unfortunately.